Most seniors don't lose their independence overnight. They lose it one small task at a time. One forgotten medication, one burned pan, one fall that almost happened, one trip to the mailbox that suddenly feels exhausting. The problem is that families often don't notice these changes until something serious happens. And by then, they're no longer asking, how do we help mom stay independent? They're asking, how did we miss all these warning signs? If you're helping care for an aging parent, this video could save you from reaching that point. Here's what surprises most families. The first signs that independence is becoming unsafe usually don't look dangerous at all. They look like normal parts of getting older, which is exactly why they're so easy to miss. For decades, our team has worked alongside thousands of older adults and their families, helping seniors stay healthy, happy, and at home whenever it's safe to do so. We've seen what independence really looks like, and we've also seen the subtle warning signs that families often overlook. Today, we're going to walk through 7 everyday tasks that can quietly become unsafe. Some of these may surprise you. And the last one is the one families almost always notice too late. When people think about aging safely at home, they often focus on dramatic events. Falls, broken hips, trips to the emergency room. But one of the first areas that begins to change is the kitchen. Cooking requires dozens of decisions every single meal. Remembering ingredients, timing, judging heat, using sharp knives, turning appliances off, multitasking. These are all things we do automatically, until we can't. You may notice that your loved one suddenly has several expired items in the refrigerator. Maybe they're eating cereal every night because cooking feels overwhelming. Perhaps they've burned a pan recently, or maybe they're simply avoiding the stove altogether. None of these automatically mean they need to move out of their home, but they do mean it's time to ask why. Sometimes it's arthritis making it painful to lift cookware. Sometimes it's vision changes. Sometimes it's mild cognitive decline. Sometimes it's simply exhaustion. The goal isn't to take away the kitchen. The goal is to make it safe again. That could mean preparing meals together, using automatic shutoff appliances, organizing frequently used items where they don't require climbing or reaching, or having someone stop by during meal preparation. Because staying independent doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means having the support needed to keep living safely. Cooking is usually one of the first warning signs. But there's another daily task that's even easier to hide. And families often don't realize it's becoming dangerous until an accident happens. The bathroom is one of the most dangerous rooms in any home. Wet floors, hard surfaces, limited space, poor lighting. A simple slip can completely change someone's future. The challenge is that many older adults won't admit they're struggling. Instead, they quietly adapt. They shower less often. They avoid washing their hair. They rush because they're afraid of slipping. Family members usually notice the results before they recognize the cause. It isn't always because they don't care. It may be because bathing has become frightening.
My initial goal in doing all of this was to add to the quality of life of seniors. And to do that, you've got to start with recognizing what their wishes and desires are.
That's an important shift in perspective. Instead of asking, can they still do this? Ask, can they still do this safely? Those are 2 very different questions. Installing grab bars, adding a shower chair, improving lighting, removing loose rugs, or having someone nearby during bathing. These aren't signs that independence is ending. They're tools that protect it. Bathrooms may be the most dangerous room, but stairs have a way of hiding problems even longer. Because many seniors simply stop using them, and families don't realize why. Have you ever noticed your parent mentioning, "I just keep everything downstairs now," or "I don't really use that room anymore"? At first, that sounds practical, but sometimes it's actually an adaptation to fear. Climbing stairs requires balance, leg strength, vision, endurance, confidence. Lose even one of those, and stairs become intimidating. Instead of admitting they're afraid, many seniors quietly rearrange their lives. Laundry piles up upstairs, bedrooms go unused, important items get moved to one floor. Families often think, well, that's convenient. But what they're really seeing is someone shrinking their world to avoid risk. That's why paying attention to behavior changes matters more than listening only to words. Because many parents don't want to worry their children. They'll often say, "I'm fine." But what they're really doing is making their world a little smaller every week. By now, you may be noticing a pattern. None of these warning signs by themselves mean your loved one has lost their independence, but together, they tell a story. And the next sign is one that families often mistake for simple forgetfulness, when it can actually signal a much bigger safety concern. Most older adults don't take just one medication. Many manage 5, 10, or even more prescriptions every day. Some need to be taken in the morning, others at night. Some with food, some on an empty stomach, some can't be taken together. That's a lot for anyone to manage. Now imagine trying to keep all of that straight while also dealing with declining vision, hearing loss, arthritis, or mild memory changes. Medication mistakes become much more likely. Sometimes they miss doses. Other times they accidentally take 2. They refill the wrong prescription. Or they stop taking medication altogether because keeping up with it has become overwhelming. These mistakes often happen quietly. You don't usually notice them until something changes. Maybe blood pressure becomes unstable. Maybe blood sugar suddenly spikes. Maybe they seem more confused than usual. Or maybe they end up in the emergency room. According to the CDC, medication-related problems are responsible for hundreds of thousands of emergency department visits among older adults every year, many of which are preventable through better medication management. That doesn't necessarily mean someone needs around-the-clock care. Sometimes all they need is a simple system, a weekly pill organizer, automatic medication reminders, or someone checking in each day to make sure everything was taken correctly. The goal isn't to take control away. The goal is to reduce unnecessary risk. Medication management is mostly invisible, but the next warning sign happens right in front of us. The challenge is, we often explain it away. Take a look around the next time you visit. Not with the eyes of a son or daughter. Look with the eyes of a detective. Is unopened mail stacking up? Are dishes piling in the sink? Is laundry sitting unfolded? Has the refrigerator become empty or overfilled with expired food? Is dust collecting in places your parent would never have ignored before? These changes aren't about housekeeping. They're clues. Those clues usually point to one of 2 things: physical limitations or mental fatigue. Tasks that once felt automatic now require too much mental energy. Many families assume they're just not as neat as they used to be. Maybe they're overwhelmed.
You really just want to try to make this season of their life as happy as possible and as stress-free as possible. And so just by providing people that can come in and give them some joy and giving them the ability to stay in their home.
That's an important distinction, because cleaning the house isn't really about cleaning. It's about preserving dignity. A clean home reduces fall risks, improves nutrition, makes medication easier to organize, creates a healthier environment, and often lifts someone's mood. Sometimes a little help around the house protects far more than just the house itself. Physical changes are usually easier to spot. Emotional changes, those can be much harder, especially when they happen slowly. Here's something families rarely expect. Many seniors begin withdrawing from activities long before they lose the ability to do them. Maybe they stop attending church. Maybe they skip weekly card games. Maybe they no longer visit neighbors. Maybe family dinners become too much trouble. It's easy to assume they're simply slowing down, but ask yourself this: what's really changed? Sometimes they no longer feel confident driving. Sometimes they're afraid of falling in public. Sometimes hearing loss makes conversations exhausting. Sometimes they worry about becoming a burden. Isolation rarely announces itself. It quietly grows. And loneliness doesn't just affect emotional health. Research continues to show that prolonged social isolation is associated with increased risks of depression, cognitive decline, hospitalization, and even earlier mortality among older adults.
I was visiting a client who had some early onset Alzheimer's. I don't know if it was Alzheimer's. And she had a beautiful piano sitting in her living room. And so I asked her about the piano. And through that, I learned that, she used to be like this incredible musician that loved to play the piano. And so I asked her if she would play a song for me. And she, after just a little bit of nudging, agreed to play a song for me, and I was able to record it. I shared the video with her family who did not live in town. And the son called me back emotional and said, "That is the first time I have heard my mother play that piano since my father died." But the family members were so grateful to have that video and that experience of their mom playing the piano.
That's what companionship really looks like. It isn't just someone sitting in the room. It's someone noticing what still brings joy. Sometimes the greatest gift isn't helping someone do more. It's helping them become themselves again. By now, you may have recognized one, maybe several, of these signs in someone you love. Sometimes the biggest warning sign isn't what your parent is doing, it's what you're doing. Think about the last few months. How many unexpected phone calls have you received? How many times have you rushed over because they couldn't figure something out? How often do you find yourself worrying during work? Checking your phone during meetings? Wondering, have they taken their medication today? Did Dad remember to lock the door? Did Mom make it safely back from the grocery store? Family caregivers rarely notice when they've crossed the line from helping to managing a constant state of anxiety. It happens gradually. You stop by just to check. Then you're stopping by every day. Then you're coordinating appointments, managing prescriptions, paying bills, handling groceries, fixing things around the house, talking with doctors, making sure meals are eaten. The list keeps growing. Before long, you're balancing your career, your spouse, your children, and now an aging parent. Many caregivers don't realize they're carrying 2 full-time jobs.
If you don't self-care for yourself, you have nothing to give. If you don't care about self, then you're going to tear down super fast. And like you said, we see that in spouses, that instead of the spouse being the spouse is the caregiver. And then their health runs down.
That may be one of the hardest lessons in caregiving, because love often tells us, I should be able to do this myself. Reality says something different. No one was meant to carry this alone. One of the biggest myths about aging is that there are only 2 options: living completely independently or moving into a care facility. The truth is, there's a much larger space in between. Receiving help with meals, transportation, housekeeping, or companionship doesn't take away independence. It often protects it. In many cases, that support is exactly what allows someone to stay safely at home for years longer.
I recognize that I have never met a senior that said, I can't wait to get old and move to an assisted living. They wanted to stay home.
Seniors want to remain surrounded by their memories, their routines, and the place where life happened. That's not just about comfort, it's about identity. Home is where birthdays were celebrated, where grandchildren learned to walk, where holidays were shared, where decades of life unfolded. Protecting that matters. The answer isn't based on age. It's not based on pride. And it's certainly not based on whether someone can still insist, I'm fine. It's based on safety. If daily tasks are becoming dangerous, if the risk of injury is increasing, if isolation is growing, if you're constantly worried, then it may be time to rethink what independence really means. Because true independence isn't measured by how many chores someone can still complete. It's measured by whether they're able to live the life they want, safely, comfortably, and with dignity. Sometimes the most independent decision a family can make is accepting a little help before there's a crisis. If this video made you think about someone you love, don't wait for the next fall. Don't wait for the emergency room visit. Don't wait until you're forced to make decisions in the middle of a crisis. Start the conversation now. Ask questions. Look for the small changes, because the earlier families recognize these signs, the more options they usually have, and often, the more years their loved one can continue enjoying life at home. If you're currently caring for a parent or another aging loved one, we'd love to hear from you. Which daily task has become the biggest challenge for your family? Share your experience in the comments below.